What's up, everybody? Brett here. Today going to be playing some Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord here by popular demand. Before we get into it, let me just go ahead and read this little blurb here for those of you who have never even heard of this game. Highly doubt that most of you haven't heard of this, but let's do it for all the peeps who haven't. So, it's an action role-playing game developed by TaleWorlds Entertainment. It is a prequel to Mount and Blade 1. And it takes place 210 years before its predecessor, is how it's said. Interesting. I actually didn't know it was a prequel. I don't have a ton of experience with Mount and Blade 1. However, this game has been in development forever. It's currently still in early access, which is why I kind of waited to play. Let's go ahead and maybe we could turn down the music a little bit. It got pretty epic there right as I decided to start talking. The music down just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, and I was going to go ahead and start a campaign. Last night I loaded it up just to get a kind of feel for the controls, so I wasn't doing everything for the absolute first time, because the combat itself is a little bit tricky, because I haven't really played games like this before. So let's go ahead and get into the campaign. Once we do some campaign in this game, if you guys are interested, maybe we'll do some multiplayer. It looks super fun. I've been watching a lot of other YouTube channels. The guys play it. I held off. I saw a lot of bugs. I saw a lot of crashes. But I think this game will ultimately be awesome. And whereas normally my nature is to just hold off and wait for games to kind of get good before I buy them, especially at the price tag that this game is currently sitting at. It's like a AAA title in terms of cost. But I would normally wait, but I think if I wait too long, just the hype's going to be gone. So let's jump in a little bit on the hype. And first things first, we have to pick our culture. So there's 6 to choose from. I'm going to read a lot of this stuff. To me, this is the world building, and there's not a ton of it. So let's get what world building we can and explore that together. So the Vlandians are the descendants of adventurers from the west who lived under the Empire for centuries before forming an independent kingdom. With the decline of imperial authority, they have evolved into a well-organized feudal society led by a caste of warlike nobles who prefer to fight with spears and lances on horseback. 20% more upgrade experience to troop from battles. That sounds like a great benefit. So these guys look cool. They sound basically just like... they sound like the English, like from Roman times. We've got the Sturgians, are the descendants of the foreign tribes of northern Calradia. As the Empire expanded into their cold forests, they found that a ready market for the luxurious furs of woodland animals whom they traditionally hunted and trapped. Sturgian chieftains became princes, vying for preeminence with the help of Nord mercenaries who migrated into their realm. They are good hunters and wanderers, traveling far in search of opportunities, both for trade and plunder. These guys may be something more like Vikings. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from them. They have a 20% less speed penalty from snow, so good in snow. Empire. The Calradian Empire is in decline. Even before the murder of the Emperor Arenasos, the once united realm was torn by political rivalries. Today, those factions are in open war, yet Calradians endure. They are technologically more advanced than their neighbors, and their mastery of engineering is not just evident in their aqueducts, beautiful architecture, and massive city walls. It also makes them experts in siege warfare. So basically like Rome in decline. 20% construction speed bonus to town projects, wall repairs, and siege engines. Alright. The Aserai are the inhabitants of the Nahasa Desert, a mixture of nomadic Bedouin and settled oasis farmers. They are famous for their horsemanship and their knowledge of the learning of many lands, especially medicine, gained from lying on some of the continent's most lucrative trade routes. Each clan is fiercely proud of its lineage and often jealous of the others, but when united by a charismatic leader, they become a major force in the south. Caravans are 30% cheaper to build, 10% less trade penalty. So they might be like a powerhouse economic faction. And horseback also seems pretty cool, that whole fighting from horse. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I did the tutorial. And fighting from horseback is not quite as hard as I thought it would be. It reminds me a lot of like if you ever played The Witcher. It has similar controls when you use Roach. So the Kuzets, I think is how you would pronounce that. Basically your Mongol faction. Confederation of steppe tribes used to live a nomadic life, but have recently settled in the eastern frontier of the empire and are slowly transitioning into an agrarian society with permanent town centers. Despite this, they still retain many aspects of their nomadic life, including their affinity with horses. They are masters of mounted archery, shooting and then galloping out of reach. 10% extra speed bonus for horsemen on campaign map. The guy I've been watching the most play this game played as these guys, and he just has a massive horde of horse archers, and it seems like the most broken, cheesy thing you could do in the game. Pretty much every group he fights, he can just circle them to death and just shoot them to pieces. Seems fun, but I was interested in using the battalions, and I wish I had time to kind of put up a vote or something to see if you guys, which ones you'd be interested in watching me play. But the battalions still remember the olden days when the woods stretched across northern Calradia, and the Empire and its cities had yet to violate their sanctity. The fierce warriors remain loyal to their traditional ways. They paint their faces when going to battle, and even their noblemen prefer to fight on foot while using great axes and two-handed swords with deadly efficiency. I want to make a troop, I want to make a lot of infantry. Let's do big two-handed axes. Let's get wild. Whenever I saw this faction, I started instantly thinking of the opening scenes of Gladiator, when the Roman legionnaires line up to fight those kind of savage dudes, and he ends up fighting the guy with the huge axe. Anyway, awesome opening to any movie. But forests give 10% less speed penalty to parties. I'm interested in these guys. I'd like to make an infantry corps more than I am, I guess, interested in horsemanship or siege equipment. I think I'd be happy to do any of these guys, but let's try the battalions. Alright, in character creation, they start us off with this kind of goobery looking guy. Character customization is pretty deep. It's about as deep as I want it to be, personally. I don't need it to be, like, ridiculous. This is a good base. I made a character last night, and I think I'm going to try and recreate him this time. And let's see. So, I made him super tall, because I feel like if I'm going to be, like, a forest-dwelling badass guy with a two-handed axe, I just want to be a big frame guy that might actually make me vulnerable to ranged fire, I suppose. Makes me a bigger target. Hopefully it's not too much of a big deal. Let's try our voice.
Line formation! Warriors!
Alright.
Yeah!
See if he says something else.
Side by side! Pace up! Onwards! Give way!
I like that. Let's lower the pitch a little bit.
Stand your ground!
I like that. Nice and manly. Yeah, alright. We can mess with skin tone a little bit. We live in the forest. I don't think I'd end up being, like, super tan. But I do like that you have the option. If I was naturally a darker skin tone, I kind of like to make characters look something like myself. I'm not a giant, though. I'm not like 6'6" in real life. I'm a pretty normal-sized guy. But that seems good to me. I find it hard to believe that anyone would be kind of this pale in ancient times if you're a warrior. It's like, man, you're going to get a tan, whether you want it or not. Alright, that seems good. Let's move on to face. You know what, before I do the face, I kind of like to get an idea of the accoutrement, right? I like to know what kind of hair I'd like, beard, and then markings, and then I kind of adjust the face after that. And then I can kind of play around. I like to get what I know I want. So I settled on, I kind of want my guy to have a little bit of scarring, but not too much. We don't need to go crazy with it. You can do the sort of stereotypical fantasy scarred eye, you know, badass looking guy. You can give him acne if you want, if that's kind of your thing. I like this one though. This seems kind of realistic, something you might get in training or in a battle when you're young. Never know. They also have face paint, which I think would probably be appropriate for our faction. I thought this one looked pretty sweet. But yeah, they have lots of options. Enough options to keep me satisfied anyway. But let's go with some basic scarring. Hair-wise, I actually like this hair. I think this is the one I chose. But there are tons of options. We can go super fro. I thought this one looked okay. These are sort of cool. These are more of, I think, the... They each definitely correspond to a particular faction. But I kind of like this one. It's like I'm trying, but not too hard. That one's kind of cool, too. Anyway. And then for the beard, I settled on this beard here. That's kind of what I'm rocking currently in my life. If I hadn't just shaved my head due to the lady who cuts my hair not being around anymore. Thank you, coronavirus. If I hadn't shaved my head, this is basically what I would look like right now. But there's plenty of other awesome epic beard options. This one's pretty sweet. Damn, now that I look at that, I kind of like that. I didn't see that one last night. It's my beard plus some sweet, like, handlebars. I just trimmed my own mustache a little bit, too, to make it not do that. Now I have regrets. Okay, so markings, hairstyle, good. Let's go a little bit darker on the hair. Yep, very manly. Okay, face. Okay, how do we mess with face? Skin type, I don't even know what that entails, really. Just kind of like level of how clear the skin is. Alright, that looks like it's got a little acne or something to it. Of course, it's going to be hard to see with the beard. Let's take the beard off for now. That way we can get a good look at the face. So what am I really working with here? Some stubble? Yeah, that's fine. It'll kind of give like a backdrop to his beard. Face depth. We can mess with some stuff. Who knows what it really... I tend not to want to mess with too many of these types of settings. Because without realizing it, you'll end up making something like a monster. Just a person who doesn't look real. The one thing I did mess with a little bit that I was happy I messed with was the jawline. It gave us kind of a super weak jaw. Let's see. I don't need to mess with... Yeah, I think we're good with that. I changed... What else did I change? Yeah, it gave us a bit of... What's that, that hound dog? That Hanna-Barbera cartoon hound dog? We've got that going on. Okay, let's go for eyes. Eyebrow type 1. I think I went with 4. That looks like me. Where's eye size? Go a little bit bigger. I don't want to look goofy. We kind of got to look at him in context, right? Just looking at his... Zoomed in on his face could kind of be misleading. I do want to go change his eye color. Right now he's at the lightest end of the spectrum. Let's go dark. Let's go towards nose. I think I changed nose length a little bit. Nose angle. Bring that down. And this is all just preference. I mean, you can spend all day in these. Let's lower that width a little bit. Jesus. I don't need to smell everything in the forest. Nose shape. We can alter that a little bit. Give him a more noble nose shape. Some a little pointier. There we go. Nose definition. Alright, I think it's the jawline where we're going to need to do the most work. It's going to really change the shape of his face from kind of a chubby dude. Lip thickness. Alright, I don't want to mess with that too much. Teeth type. Are we really going to have to see his teeth at some point? I could have gone my whole life without ever seeing that. That's crazy. Okay, so keep in mind, a lot of this is going to be hidden by the beard. Okay, let's bring that jaw down a little bit. Let's stick that chin forward a little bit. That's kind of what we're missing. He's got a bit of an overbite or an underbite. I can never remember which is which. I think it's the chin length we really want. Length and forward. I mean, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Looks like a strong guy. One of the things I think I messed with last time was eye position. Because if you're not careful, you can have a dude who ends up, what is monolid eye? I don't even know what this does. Oh, I see. Okay, makes him a tiny bit squintier. I like that. Doesn't need to be like moon-eyed. But if you're not careful, you can have a guy whose like eyes are too close together or too far apart. Like eye-to-eye distance. That's what we want. So we could spread it out a little bit. Let's see. Ooh. This is one of those you might want to trust to the like the auto generator. But I like it. I think that's fine. And once we cover this with a beard, I think we'll look awesome. So where's that sweet beard option? There it is. How do we look? Amazing? I think so. Perhaps the most boring haircut, but it's basically my haircut. So, my haircut without a haircut. So that's it. This is our guy. And now we have to choose our story, right? And by choosing our story, we're basically choosing which of these stats we're going to get points in right off the bat. So one-handed, two-handed, and polearm weaponry. We've got bows, crossbows, and throwing weapons. Riding. We've got athletics and smithing. We've got scouting, tactics, roguery, charm, leadership, trade, and then steward, medicine, and engineering. Those are our choices. And as we choose our story, we'll get 2 points in one of these. So I was interested in making a two-handed character. So members of the Chieftain's Hearthguard will give us two-handed plus the bow. And let's just go through quickly and see what the points will give us. And then we can kind of like settle on a few and pick it from there. So this also gives us two-handed, but it also gives us smithing, which I'm interested in playing around with. I don't know how that works in the game, but I'd be interested to learn. I'm not that interested in using a bow. I'd be more interested in like a throwing weapon, perhaps. So your family were smiths, a revered profession among Battanians. They crafted everything from fine filigree jewelry and geometric designs to the well-balanced long swords favored by the Battanian aristocracy. So 10 skill level and 1 focus point to smithing and two-handed. Nice. And I think that's what we're going to go with. The other options are foresters and bards. And no doubt there's some of you out there who are like really familiar with this game already. Just know that I'm not. If I'm making mistakes here, just bear with me. Feel free to give any constructive criticism you'd like in the comment section. The faster I learn how to play, hopefully the faster my gameplay becomes enjoyable, especially to people who are already familiar. So as a child, you were noted for your leadership skills. I kind of like that. We get tactics and leadership. Your judgment of how troops will perform in contact. This allows you to make a good prediction of when an unorthodox tactic will work and when it won't work. I don't know what that means in practice, though. The ability to inspire. You can fill individuals with confidence and stir up enthusiasm and courage in large groups. Okay. Your brawn. We can go straight up to level 2 and two-handed and also get throwing, which is what I'm very interested in. And I think that's what I'm going to choose. We're obviously a giant. Our guy is a giant. So us having, notoriety for our brawn makes sense. You were big and other children looked to have you around in any scrap with children from a neighboring village. You pushed a plow and throw an axe like an adult. Sounds good to me. And just quickly so you guys can sort of see what our other options are. But we're going to go with brawn as we get to our adolescence. We spent most of our time at the town watch's training ground. That will give us crossbow as well as tactics. With alley gangs gives us one-handed weaponry as well as roguery. Docks and building sites gives us athletics and smithing 2. That's very tempting. I'd like to have smithing 2. The knowledge of how to forge metal, match handle to blade, turn poles, sew scales, and other skills useful in the assembly of weapons and armor. And then physical fitness, speed, and balance. So that one's a pretty big contender for me right now. Then we have trade and charm in the markets and the caravanserai. Not a word I've ever seen before, but cool. I imagine it just means caravans. Leadership and engineering sounds great. And then working at the stables if we were interested in fighting from horseback, which I'm sure we'll get horseback skills at some point. And steward is probably also quite useful. But let's go with docks and building sites. I like the idea of getting level 2 smithing and at least 1 point in athletics. Alright, in our youth, as a youngster growing up in Calradia, war was never too far away. You stood guard with the garrisons. That gives us archery and engineering. Rode with the scouts will give us archery and riding. Train with the infantry gives us one-handed sword and pole arm. Join the skirmishers. Another point in throwing and bow. Join the kern. I'm not sure what a kern is. Fight as kern. Versatile troops who could both harass the enemy line with their javelins. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're like javelineers who also fight in melee. Well, that's kind of what I want to do, and I'd like to get another point in throwing, but I don't know if I necessarily need the one-handed skill. Not for what I'd like to do. Marched with the camp followers. So we get throwing and roguery. You can tell when a guard wants a bribe, you know how to intimidate someone and have a good sense of what you can and can't get away with. Right now, I'm tempted to go with Marched with camp followers. Or what was the other one? I kind of like the idea also of getting engineering. But I also would love to get at least 1 point in riding if I can, even though I'm not that interested in using bows. You know what? Let's see what roguery gets us. You avoid service with one of the main forces of your realm's armies, but it followed instead in the train. The troops' wives, lovers, and servants, and those who make their living by caring for, entertaining, or cheating the soldiery. Interesting. Choose your young adulthood. I don't know how we'd hide amongst anyone with our enormous size. Before you set out for a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was you defeated an enemy in battle. That gives us level 3 two-handed and level 1 one-handed. We'll see about that. You saved your city quarter from a fire. That gives us tactics and leadership. I kind of want to get one in every category just to see how they affect us. Trade and smithing. You invested some money in a workshop. That sounds good too. I survived a siege. Sure, some range skill. You had a famous escapade. It gives me athletics and roguery too. Do we want to go deep on the roguery? Are we a rogue? And also athletics. I don't know exactly how that plays into the game. But I'd kind of like to get some of these social and intelligence abilities. So you treated people well. Yours wasn't the kind of reputation that local legends are made of, but it was the kind that wins you respect among those around you. You were consistently fair and honest in your business dealings, and helpful to those in trouble. In doing so, you got a sense of what made people tick. Mercy, generosity, and honor plus 5 renown. Yeah, let's try this one. I'd like to get steward and charm. Alright, choose your story background. Like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and your 2 younger siblings to a new town you'd heard was safer, but you did not make it. Along the way, the inn at which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain, and your 2 youngest siblings seized. But you and your brothers survived because... Okay. So, we look actually pretty sweet. This is basically exactly what I want it to look like as an adult. You subdued a raider. One-handed and athletics. You drove them off with arrows. That probably won't be what we go with. That gives us tactics and bow. You rode off on a fast horse. That'll give us the 1 riding I wanted and scouting. Knowledge of how to scan the wilderness for life. You can follow track, spot movement in the undergrowth, and spot an enemy across the valley from a flash of light on spear points or a dust cloud. You trick the raiders. That gives us roguery and tactics. You organize the travelers to break out. And that gives me charm and leadership. So we'll be at level 2 charm. And level 1 leadership, which I kind of wanted at least 1 point of. But I did want the ability to ride. And scouting is also seems like it might be useful. Let's take... We rode off on a fast horse. I don't want to be completely inept at riding. And I will use cavalry at some point as some part of my army, but I think we're definitely going to be more infantry focused as we go on. Assuming that's even a thing and you don't have to be well rounded. I don't know. Let's go. We rode off on a fast horse. Jumping on the 2 remaining horses in the inn's burning stable, you and your brother broke out of the encircling raiders and rode off. Alright, and this is our guy. We've got axes in our belt. We've got a 2-handed weapon strapped to our back. And our name is not going to be Griff. I've settled on kind of reusing a favorite name of mine from a favorite fantasy series. It's Steven Erickson's series. You feel free to look him up. It's the Malazan Book of the Fallen series, and it's awesome. And there's a character named Karsa Orlong who's just a total badass. We're going to steal that name. Pay homage to Steven Erickson, one of my favorite authors. Alright. Yeah, and we're good to go. Let's see how the game goes. It is my first time playing. I thought it was weird that it set everything to very easy. Which makes me only want to up it to easy, you know? But I feel like realistic, is that what I want to do? How much harder does it go to? So it goes from very easy to realistic, and there's nothing after that? Well, I definitely don't want to play on easy. Very easy, rather. Let's try it on what seems to be the middle difficulty. Combat AI. How hard can it get? Veteran, challenging, normal. Let's stick with normal. Until we learn how to play, maybe we can always up that. And let's start the game. Like I said, I did some tutorial stuff. I have a general idea of how to fight. I did pretty much everything. I did the advanced combat training. Brother, it's been 3 days now. We've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue Farok and Athan? Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush off our skills. The practice could help and be useful when we catch up with the raiders. Okay, so I just did this like I said last night. I have a general idea of how to play. I'm going to jump in. We're going to skip the tutorial. So do you think we'll catch up with the raiders soon? The tracks look fresh, and I've seen some smoke on the horizon. They can't move too quickly if they're still looting and raiding. No, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to rescue the little ones, or die trying. How should we prepare? Well, if they're still pillaging, they may have split up into smaller groups. Hopefully we won't need to take them all on at once, but it would help if we could hire or persuade some people to join us. Okay. So I won't be reading everything all the time, but in the early stages, I think it'll be good to read. So we have no time to lose. We can do more if we split up. Are you sure about that? Actually, I didn't finish the tutorial. Let's actually do the tutorial. Do I need to do everything in the tutorial to go on to the next stage? Alright. Because I don't necessarily want to do all the fighting and horseback riding and stuff again. Okay, so we're on the overworld map. I wonder if the tutorial would have also given me tips on how to actually play the game and what everything meant. I didn't go that deep in. I thought the tutorial was just for combat. But maybe that's not the case. Okay. Travel to another village, to Via, which is right here. Brother, before we do anything else, we're low on food. There's a village north of here where we can buy provisions and find some help. You're a better rider than I am, so I'll let you lead the way. Alright, cool. So we're still in something of an overworld tutorial, which is what I was hoping for. Navigating Calradia. Welcome to Calradia. You can explore the world map by moving the camera. Got it. Panning your view by right-clicking and dragging your mouse. And zooming in and out with the mouse wheel. Got it. Moving your party is done by clicking on the map. This will leave a mark on the target location unless you have clicked on inaccessible. Alright, let's travel. So we're two guys. There's a bunch of these refugees running around from whatever this faction is. Headman Vadrios. Huh. Entering settlements. You have arrived at Tavia. To explore the location, you can enter the settlement by pressing the highlighted button on the left. Let's take a walk around. We're here, I guess. So, we need food, and after that, maybe some men to come with us. The headman here can probably help us. Let's try to find him. Interesting. So now we just kind of ride around and do whatever. Speak to the headman. You can hold left alt. Got it. To see the location of the headman after... Yeah, okay. Then we talk to him. Alright, he's behind us. This is very cool, though. Can I not draw my weapon in this place? It's interesting. And the dismount, I think I just need to kind of look down. Okay, he's up here. What can I actually do in these places? Yeah, I gotta look all the way down. Okay. Block and attack. Yeah, I gotta get used to this, like, style of combat. It's very weird. That's a kick. I can jump. Alright, let's just talk to the headman and see what's up. We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. Yeah, they got our people. They've gone north. A few folks will join us, perhaps. And we gained a level. So once you've made for preparations, come and talk to me again. Our charm went up. Cool. Tutorial. Leaving a mission. To leave a mission, you can hold down the tab key. This will return you to the settlement menu where you can purchase supplies and hire recruits. Alright, so we can go to our character screen here too. So apparently we've unlocked one attribute point that we can spend on whatever. Man, I don't know how any of this works. So is this what we have available and this is what we've actually unlocked? So we're currently sitting at 20. I think I kind of understand. So this is where we are. This is what skills we have available to us once we get this level. We're currently sitting at 10. So we need to get to 25 to get that. We can't get any of these either because we didn't get to level 3 on any of our abilities. Our charm went up. To the lords for the first time, I have a 10% chance to gain 2 relation with them. 50% reduced barter penalty. Okay. 20% more renown from battles. Can I spin this here? I can. But what does that do? Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't even know what I'm spending at this point. Did I just put all my experience into that? Looks like I did. Okay. Well, didn't mean to do that. Can I reset? Yes. Alright. I'm trying to figure out how to spin this. 1 free attribute point. And what should I even get? I don't even know yet. I've got points here that I can spin, though. Ice. Oh, okay. So I get to pick one. Icebreaker when introducing yourself, or I get diplomacy. Let's take that. And then, let's see. I get to choose one of these. So, +1 renown for each issue resolved. 20% more renown from battles. I have to imagine I'm going to be in a ton of battles. Did I do a good job there? I have no idea. And I think if I upgrade this, yeah, I won't be able to do that. So, what do I upgrade now? I have an attribute point. It says current focus amount 2. Guys, I'm so sorry if I'm just totally misunderstanding this. We have a quest here. Purchase grain, recruit troops. Got it. I need 4 guys and 2 grain. We have nobody in our party. We can go to our inventory. Buying food. Your brother recommends that you purchase 2 sacks of grain. You can do this by transferring them to your inventory. Okay, we've got to go to the overworld map. I'm just really trying to understand this. It's telling me I have 1, but I was able to pump 2-handed multiple times. And I'm wondering if something like leadership might not be worth more to invest in. Like, that gives you an experience bonus. So, like, we unlock that. Cool. But we still have to actually level our leadership in order to actually unlock them. Okay, we're done. I'm sure it'll explain how to do that in some other part of a tutorial. Let's hold tab, leave this little village, and go to recruit troops. So we need 4 men. Recruitment. Notables help you recruit more and better troops according to your relation with them. So some of these dudes look like they're cavalry? Or are they all cavalry, or they just have the ability to ride a horse? Should purchase supplies from the settlement menu. And it said I needed at least 2 grain. Does it expire or anything like that? Let's just get 3. We have finished our preparations. Let's talk to the headman again. He said he may have a task for us. We could use his friendship. So talk to the headman. And we don't have to go inside the village to do that, I guess. Or do we? Now, about that matter I mentioned earlier. There's this wandering doctor who comes through here from time to time. Name of Tatsteos? Treats people for free. We're fond of him. Well, we last saw him a few days ago. He was carrying some sort of chest, which he was very mysterious about. He was on some sort of quest, he said, that wouldn't tell us more. He set off on the road just a few hours before the raiders come through here. Well, he's not really a worldly type, just the kind of fellow who'd stumble into a trap and let himself be captured. We're worried about him. Okay. If you can keep an eye out for him, we'd be very grateful. Okay. Let's tab out. Weird that it makes us zoom into there and it doesn't just give us like a little bit of like a chat box or something. So we now have men. Where we go from here? Not really sure. They've got raiders all around us. Do we just need to go and take them out? I guess so. So let's attack. I bought more men than it told me to, and more food. And they're all mounted. Interesting. You can tell your men to charge by opening the movement orders with F1. And choosing charge with F3.
Charge!
Well, I can already tell I'm going to have to change my recording settings, because my OBS is F4 to record. Oh no. Okay. Stay mobile. Stay mobile and maybe let some of these men do the hard work for us. Pick a guy out and try and get him. Ooh, missing. I wonder if we're missing because I'm terrible or if we're missing because my horsemanship isn't great. That was definitely me. Whenever I did the tutorial, I hit every single pot without, like, really much trouble. Alright, that was a little late. So I'm just imagining them as, like, pots right now. Got him. Okay, good. First kill. We've drawn first blood. Is he, like, throwing rocks at us? Alright, we've won the battle, but did we lose anybody? That feels like important info that I feel like I missed. We gained a point in tactics. Done. Alright, was that a great showing? Probably not. I actually didn't expect to be on horseback. And we took some damage there. So rescuing and taking prisoners. After a hard-fought battle, you may have the choice to take some prisoners or recruit those that you have freed from your enemy. Both options are done by transferring the troops to your party with the little arrow button to the left. Okay. Let's take both of these dudes. And then, I guess if they had some gear. Take and equip. We didn't have anything there, so now we have Eastern Wrapped Arm Guards. Gives us 5 arm armor. Hard to know how good that is, but we're wearing basically junk right now. We probably have a junk horse, if I'm guessing right. Horse tier 1. We have throwing weapons. Maybe if we fight on foot, we'll get to make use of those. But let's go ahead and track down these other raiders right now. Since we're all on horseback, I think that's pretty intentional by the game. It's allowing us to catch up to them. And from what I've seen from other people... Alright, that's F1. F1. It wants us to charge again. That's probably good enough.
Kill them all!
Let's see if we can get someone off the charge. Let's go for the flanks. Ah. No luck. Or no skill.
You bastard!
Circle back around. Get him in the back. It's probably way easier. Terrible. Our guys seem to be doing great, though. My horse has done more damage than me so far. It's still fun, though. It's way more satisfying if I can hit someone. I'll definitely get better at this as I go. Right now, all my brain is doing is worrying about... there we go. How I'm going to change my recording settings to make sure I don't ever hit F4 and stop the recording. Is that just one guy left? There we go. Alright, I came in for the kill. Clutch plays. And I don't think we lost anybody yet again. Very good. And thankfully I didn't take any damage that time either. So damage seems to hang around. We'll take old fur armor. It is... Is it better than what we're currently wearing? No, it's not. But we can still take it. Cheap paddings. Not as good as what we're wearing. Okay. And we can... I'm assuming we can sell all this. So this is our encumbrance. Total equipped armor and weapon weight. High encumbrance will slow down your on-foot movement speed. Got it. So our quest right now, rescue him. So we gotta defeat the parties. That's exactly what we're doing. We can zoom in. And I think we just get slower and slower the more prisoners and stuff we pick up. Yeah, charge. When we're all cav, I mean, it just makes sense. I'm really glad now that I have at least 1 point in horsemanship. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the flank here. See if we can pick someone off. 96 damage, that's pretty damn good, it seems. Not quite enough to kill him. Someone gets too close, we'll snick him. Ah! Didn't get him. The AI, our AI seems to be doing a good job of handling themselves in battle. It could just be a case of they gave me way stronger dudes than them to make sure I don't lose in the beginning. So man, look at all these raiders we have now. Not sure exactly what we're supposed to do with those guys. Alright, so this is way better than what we're currently wearing. So let's equip that. A rugged gambeson. I'm just looking at, like, cost right now. We'll just take that, and then we'll take that as well. Alright, done. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders had been dragging along. They look parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you. So this has got to be the doctor, right? I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name's Tacteos. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but now I'm thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive if just for the ransom, but then they started flogging us along at top speed without any water, and I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they just flogged me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly. We're looking for 2 children captured by the raiders. Can you tell us anything? I'm afraid I haven't seen any children, but after our caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they call Radagos, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had. He seemed to be controlling more than one brand raiding around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think he'd be the one to know. So they're setting us up to fight a boss. Okay. He'll give us a valuable ornament. Cool. I was trying to find out more. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces. Got it. It doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot would give it away for a few coins, but I got it from a mercenary whom I treated once, and swore it was related to Neretz's folly. I don't know what that means, except that Neretzes was, of course, the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe you can find out its true value. Thanks for saving me again. You got it. So we could go to his hideout, or do we travel back here, see if maybe they have more men? The caravan here. I wonder if I could, like, interact with them. Okay. Let's recruit troops if they have any. They don't. I wonder how long it takes to restock. We could buy products. How are we in terms of food? We got 5 days until no food. Our hit points are kind of low, which sucks. What does sheep do? I have no idea. We'll learn about all that, I'm sure, at some point. How do I sell my stuff? Just come here and, let's see, this is to lock it so I don't sell it. Okay. I mean, we didn't make a ton off of that. But I was just hoping to see how fast maybe they restock their stuff. 39's not terrible. And we've already found the hideout. I'm just a little apprehensive because I'm going into this battle, which might be some sort of boss battle or something with low HP. I don't like that. Our healing rate is kind of low. I know medicine is something that we can learn. And maybe that increases our heal speed. So, hideouts and orders. Hideout missions begin with the enemy unaware of your approach. Order your troops to follow you with the F1 and F2 shortcuts. And try to take them on in small groups. Okay, let's get them to follow me. And see where they are. Okay, they're hitting me with throwing weapons. Oh wow, I missed a guy standing still. See if I can get in there for an attack, though. Alright, I see that one guy down there. Whoa. Alright, I hit T and now I'm stuck. I have no idea what just happened. Oh god, what's happened? Oh, this is great. Now I'm locked into whatever this is. My guy is like stuck running and I don't know why. Well guys, not a fitting way to end this, me being very confused. I have no idea what happened. All I did was hit T. Well, hopefully this isn't a bug. I can't do anything. Damn, what a... I can't stop either. I'm like locked into running. I'm just hitting every button. Okay guys, well, this is going to be it for today's video for sure. What a weird, crappy way to end it. Sorry about that. All I can think of is that this is a bug of some type. And I have no idea what's going on. If it's not a bug, if it's just me being goofy, then, you know, by all means. Okay, enter stopped it. Now, I can guarantee you I didn't hit enter. I hit T. But hitting T again doesn't get rid of the combat log. Okay, that's very weird. Alright, don't randomly hit buttons in the middle of battle. I just got to go and look at what the key bindings are for this game. But we took so much damage, I think we're just kind of screwed now. Which is a super feel bad man moment. But it's one of those things, I'm always tossed up in the air as to whether or not I'm supposed to learn all the keys before I start playing a game, or whether or not it's up to the game to teach me how to play it, right? And I feel like that's the case. I feel like I shouldn't have to memorize all the hotkeys before I start playing a game. Like, and by no means should ever hitting T, like, lock me into some sort of, like, immovable state where I just keep running. And then, how do I know that hitting Enter is the only way to get out of it? Like, that's crazy. Anyway, just kind of rambling. That was aggravating. Can't pick up any weapons here. Our men are going to have to fight. And I'm going to have to stay out of it a little bit. But luckily we are fighting them kind of one by one. I could tell them to charge, I guess. Maybe once we get sight of someone, they'll charge. If there's no one to charge at, maybe that just doesn't work. There's nothing like to steal in these. Because now they're going ahead. Alright, they wrecked that guy. I see two more ahead. Like, I can't even keep up with my own dudes. Tactics is now 3. Got it. Alright, alright, alright. You guys follow me. You're going a little bit kill crazy here. Let's charge now. Let's not sit still. They have shields. They can take those throwing shots. Yeah, we circle around and get the stab in the back. Makes sense. Oh, and that guy never saw us coming. Jesus. And that's it, I guess. Oh no, here's the boss. Well, this could get bloody, considering I have no HP. So who's this that comes through my place of business, killing my employees? We heard you took our little brother and sister. Where are they? Good heaven, I'll need a better description than that. My men have harvested dozens of little brats in this region. Quite good hunting grounds. Already sent most of them to the south to the slave market. Yeah, we want to kill him. Well, if I was in better shape, I would want to duel this guy just for fun and experience. I wonder what happens if we fail. Do we have to start this whole mission over again? Hopefully there's an autosave feature. I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't think I can afford to duel this guy. I think we need to hope that our men can help us. And we definitely want to contribute this fight. Okay, we didn't land any shots there. Our guys crushed it, though. It looks like we lost 2 of them in the exchange. My medicine is now level 2. That's cool. Yeah, sucks. I didn't even get a single hit on that guy, but I knew if I was standing in the front lines, that like one shot from him and his axe would have killed me. So what did we level? We leveled polearm, and I think that's tactics. And we lost 1 guy? Okay. Not bad. Well, I recognize defeat when I see it. If I'm going to be your captive, let me introduce myself. I'm Radagos. Yeah, help me get my brother and sister back. You'll need my help if you want to get them back alive. Shall we get on the road? Remember, if I drop dead of exhaustion or drown in some river, that's it for your little deers. Okay. Well, don't like him. And sorry about the wonky fight, guys. First time ever doing it. Hopefully I'll just get better. We didn't get any loot, I guess. You come across a chest with an old piece of bronze in it. It's so battered and corroded that it could have been anything from a cup to a crown. This must be the chest he mentioned that it's something to do with the folly. Okay. No treasure. I found the strange looking metal piece. It's an artifact. He'll take Radagos and go find the slave or market. And I guess we'll start doing our own thing. He'll raise money to ransom. Got it. When you talk to nobles and other people of importance, make sure you present yourself as someone from a distant but distinguished family. Select our family name. A new one. You'll have a better chance of obtaining an audience with nobles, and it'll be easier for me to find you by asking around. Our family name... I mean, I already kind of gave us a last name. We're Karsa Orlong. I'll use my own last name. We'll be the Stibe family. And now we get to pick our banner. That's awesome. I actually didn't know that this was in the game. Cool looking shield. Man, what do we go with? Well, we definitely don't want to use something that's like really imperial looking. That just doesn't fit our guy. Probably nothing like Asian themed. That doesn't fit us either. Or Persian. Some of these are very like English. Ours, I have to imagine, would be much more simple. I'm a sucker for like a rose or a cherry blossom or something like that. Wow, we can go pretty detailed with it. They got some cool stuff. This will probably be us eventually. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm looking at this and I'm like, the fleur-de-lis. A little too French, though. Lots of geometric designs. Okay, so that's the end of that. We can make it bigger. Whoa, that's a little big. We can go with like the kind of Celtic knots. Those are sort of cool. I was hoping one of these would speak to me a little bit. That'll work. Background. Man, is there anything cooler than black and gold? That looks pretty sweet. Done. I'm cool with that. Alright guys, and I think that's going to be it. The tutorial's over. We can now kind of do whatever we want. We've got some, find the hideout. And we're just by ourselves now. Damn, we've got quests. Investigate, increase your dinars by 1,000. Grow your party to 20 men. Reach clan tier 1, hire 1 companion. So we've got some kind of guiding missions for us. And talk to 10 nobles. Alright. So, I was kind of wishing that this would have all gone better. But I think I did about as good as I could. Can I take on 4 looters here? Maybe. Definitely can't take on 15, that's for sure. But we need more men. You don't have wide enough relation to acquire this troop. So we'll get these 2 guys. Let's recruit them. Buy products. I'm assuming we still have grain. We do. And because we only have a couple guys, we're pretty much rolling in it. This doesn't expire or anything. Playing Battle Brothers makes me think that all food will expire. Okay. We'll get a little bit of that. And in time, I'm sure we'll learn the importance of the rest of this stuff. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. You know what? No. Let's not end it on that note. Let's come over here and kill these 4 looters. I wonder what happens if we try to work something out. I want to just kill these dudes. I want to actually get into some real combat. You guys stay here. I'm going to try and do some work from horseback. So again, go for the flanks if we can. Tree messed up my charge. Alright. One of those things, maybe I should have quit while I was ahead, because these dudes are deadly accurate with rocks. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, alright. Find some more open ground. So here's the thing, we can't really, like, stop in combat once we, like, get there. We've got to charge through people, I think. And I need to have, like, a wide enough radius so I can turn. Oh, no. Yeah, and I didn't even hit anybody one time. Let's see how these guys would do. I'm not even that unhappy with, like, dying and seeing this, because I need to know what the consequences are. I need to know how my guys will behave, and what happens when I lose. So we've been captured. I don't even know what that means. What happens at this point? This is so weird. I escaped. Interesting. So they took my grain. What all did they take? They definitely... Of course I don't have men anymore. They took my leg armor that I had, like, equipped. Interesting. Well, good to know, I guess. And if I'm going to make mistakes like that, I want to make them early rather than later. And off camera, I'll definitely practice fighting and learning some of these like hotkeys and stuff. That way I can get better at playing. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. One of these days, I'll be a Lord of Legend and Bannerlord, but not today. Alright, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Later, y'all.